right, good morning, everybody. I am pleased to call to order the December 16th, 2021 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Note the presence of all three commissioners. And I am going to ask Mr. Scott France to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. We are going to start this morning with a more detailed update on the COVID-19 pandemic than we have given in a while. And this is because of the fact that we're seeing pretty rapidly rising case numbers across Montgomery County. As you can see from our first chart, and these will look familiar to those of you who watched during the early days of the pandemic, this is our 14-day PCR test positivity graph. And just as a refresher, that orange line is the number of people who were tested on the particular day, and the blue line is the 14-day running average. And just for comparison, we've highlighted December 10th, 2020 with December 10th, 2021, which is where this data, the date that this data is through. And you can see that our positivity rate is now up to 9.9%, which is a little lower than it was a year ago, but it is substantial. We are averaging now 300 cases a day in both our 7-day average and our 14-day average. The next slide is our date tested graphic. And again, as a reminder, those gray vertical bars in the background indicate the number of people who tested positive on that particular day. And then we've got running averages, 7-day average, a running 14-day average, which doesn't matter that much because those lines are all on top of one another at this point. And you can see that we are in a much better position now than we were a year ago when it comes to that. Our averages are about 300 cases a day, and a year ago we were in the 430s, 440s. So that's encouraging. And down at the bottom, I just want to highlight those orange and yellow lines that you can't really see. They look like they're almost at zero. They're not exactly at zero, but those are the cases from our long-term care facilities. And so the good news here is that those cases still do remain quite low. So although our cases are going up, and they are going up dramatically in a very similar fashion to what we saw a year ago, they're not going up quite as high, and of course that certainly relates to the number of people we have vaccinated. But very importantly is our next slide, and that depicts our hospitalizations. And here I think we really see the impact and the importance of being vaccinated. So a year ago at this time, we had 500, or on December the 10th, we had 536 folks hospitalized with a primary diagnosis of COVID-19. And today we are at about 178. And so, you know, that is, you can see what a dramatic difference it is in hospitalizations. And that kind of impact of vaccinations is very much what we're seeing across the state, and I'll present some of that data here in a moment. In Montgomery County, at this point, with what we know, the overwhelming majority of these cases are the Delta variant. While the Omicron variant has yet to be identified in Montgomery County, you should assume that it's here. I remind you that the Pennsylvania Department of Health does relatively little genomic sequencing. That is the process by which they can figure out which variant we have here. So while they haven't identified anyone yet, it's very likely that it's here. We know that there have been cases identified in Philadelphia, and given the contagiousness of this variant, I would just assume that it's here. It does seem to be more contagious than some of the prior variants. Early data from South Africa suggests that it may cause milder illness, but I do want to be clear that if it is indeed significantly more contagious and many more people contract COVID-19, there could still be a significant impact on our hospitals. So it's important that we continue to take this very, very seriously. As we approach the one-year mark of our vaccine rollout, the message remains clear. These vaccines protect you. They protect your family. They protect our entire community from the impacts of COVID-19. And we urge everybody who is eligible to please get vaccinated. And if it's time for you to get a booster, please get a booster. Now, I want to share with you the data I mentioned earlier from the Pennsylvania Department of Health. And this is data from the time period of January 1st, 2021 to December the 6th, 2021. So most of this year. 85% of reported COVID-19 cases have been in unvaccinated or not fully vaccinated people. 85% of cases. 87% of hospitalizations with COVID as the reason for admission. So not COVID that was found in somebody who was admitted for the hospital for something else, but people who were admitted to the hospital because they were sick enough with COVID to be admitted to the hospital. 80% of those hospitalizations are in unvaccinated or not fully vaccinated individuals. And 86% of the COVID-related deaths have been in unvaccinated or not fully vaccinated people. So please, the data is just overwhelming about how important it is to get vaccinated. And with this information in mind, and given our very rapidly rising case numbers, I want to urge everyone to take steps to be safe during upcoming holiday gatherings. Please consider limiting the number of attendees. Attendees should be fully vaccinated or get tested for COVID within 24 hours of the event that you are planning, and of course test negative. Keep masks on indoors unless you're actively eating or drinking. These steps will help keep you and your family and all the folks that you're celebrating with safe. With the rise in case numbers that we're seeing across our community, the risk of contracting COVID-19 is quite high now, and it is particularly high risk if you are unvaccinated. On a positive note, we're making enormous progress in getting folks vaccinated. So as of December 15th, our data shows that 87.94% of eligible Montgomery County residents, so those that are 5 and up, have received at least one dose of the vaccine. And we do believe that the majority of these folks are fully vaccinated at this point. Just last week, more than 10,000 Montgomery County residents received their initial dose of COVID-19 vaccine. And I just want to personally thank each and every one of you for taking such a responsible step. We have plenty of vaccine supply, and we encourage anyone who's unvaccinated to just walk up to any of our clinics. You don't need an appointment for your first dose. You can choose which vaccine you wish to take. We have all 3, and we will be happy to administer it to you. If you are eligible for a booster dose, we are asking that you do make an appointment, but again, we have plenty of vaccine available. You will have the option to pick which booster you receive, so that's part of why we want you to make an appointment to make sure we have the right supplies in the right locations. Our county vaccination clinics continue to administer the Pfizer vaccine to children ages 5 to 11. Pediatric appointments are available on our website at moncopa.org/COVID-19 vaccine. I do want to emphasize that appointments are required for these children, and that they must be accompanied by an adult to the clinic. Our 4 vaccine clinics remain open 5 days a week with varying hours to make it as convenient as possible for you and your family to stop in and get vaccinated. In addition, our COVID-19 clinics are also offering flu shots at all 4 locations, and you can get your flu shot at the same time that you get your COVID-19 vaccine. We have such wonderful partners in our community, and they are working together so closely and collaboratively with us. The Montgomery County Immunization Coalition is holding a series of vaccine clinics with walk-up availability, and I'm just going to quickly tick through those dates and times. The first is this Saturday, December 18th, from 10 to 1 at the Norristown Public Library. Next, on Tuesday, December the 21st, from 11 to 4 at Trinity Reformed Church in Collegeville. The next one is Monday, December 27th, from 12 to 3 at the Bethel AME Church of Ardmore. And details for these events can be found on our county calendar at moncopa.org/calendar. Lastly, we continue to offer no cost, no prescription needed, no symptoms needed COVID-19 testing at all of our testing sites across the county. We encourage anyone who needs or wants to be tested to please get tested. It doesn't cost you anything. If your kids are coming home from college, send them to be tested. It's quick, it's easy, you'll have the results in 24 to 36 hours, and then everyone knows their situation. All right, now I just want to provide a couple quick updates on Hurricane Ida recovery efforts. The county continues to provide support to those who have been displaced by Ida. We encourage anyone with unmet needs to call 211 or visit our website at moncopa.org/Ida for more information. The federal government announced another extension of the deadline for Hurricane Ida financial assistance applications. So if you haven't applied yet and you realize you do have need, it is not too late. Individuals and households can now apply for FEMA or Small Business Administration individual assistance until Monday, January the 10th. And all the information to do that is at our website. Over $11.2 million in federal aid has been distributed to Montgomery County residents so far. If you sustained damage during the storm and have not yet applied, please be sure to do so as soon as possible. And again, all of that information is at moncopa.org/Ida. And finally, as 2021 comes to a close, I just want to share how inspired I am every day by the resilience of our community and the dedication of our county staff. This year, we continued to battle coronavirus. We responded to one of the largest natural disasters our county has ever experienced, all while continuing to provide our core county services to our residents. I want to thank our residents, our community partners, every person who has volunteered with us over the last year to rebound and recover. I also want to thank our Chief Operating Officer, Lisa Tiziak, and Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Barbara O'Malley, for their extraordinary leadership during this past year. They have ensured that county residents continue to receive the services they expect from the county, while at the same time responding to multiple crises. They never lose sight of the goal of keeping this county moving forward in a way that benefits all the folks that call Montgomery County home. I also want to thank Department of Public Safety Director Michael Vest and Deputy Department of Public Safety Chief Medical Officer Dr. Alvin Wong. Their teams have been integral to responding to multiple emergencies this past year, including Hurricane Ida, and creating successful and innovative programs like our mobile COVID-19 vaccine program. A special and most heartfelt thanks goes to our Office of Public Health under the leadership of Christina Miller. These folks have been working nonstop since March 7th, 2020, when we got our first COVID-19 cases. They have responded to this ongoing pandemic while at the same time continuing to provide all of the core services expected of them. And finally, I want to thank our entire county family for your dedication and tenacity to navigate another really difficult year. We are forever grateful for your service to our constituents and for making Montgomery County the best place to live, work, or do business. The celebrations of Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and other observances around this time of year are a moment to reflect on our good fortune, generosity, and time-honored traditions that bring loved ones and communities together. They're shared symbols of light, which can be both magical and mesmerizing, provides us with hope and inspiration. Regardless of how or whether you acknowledge this time of year, we hope that we can all join together to experience the feeling of warmth from the light that shines within each of us and help spread that light to those who are less fortunate. I hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday season. And with that, I will turn over to Commissioner Lawrence.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about our annual point in time count, which is occurring on Tuesday, January 25th, 2022, and is led by the Montgomery County Office of Housing and Community Development in collaboration with Your Way Home. And we need your help with this. Homelessness exists in Montgomery County. It exists across Montgomery County in places where you think it might not. And we know that in the past 2 years, there have been challenges due to the pandemic and Hurricane Ida, which wiped out 124 affordable housing units. Here in Montgomery County, we have high rent prices in excess of established local fair market rents, and it makes it impossible for residents who have lost income during COVID or who were displaced as a result of Hurricane Ida to find affordable housing. Affordable housing is especially out of reach for some of the lower paying sectors such as the hospitality and service industries. Each year, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development requires that continuums of care conduct an annual count of people experiencing homelessness, including those in emergency shelters, transitional housing, and safe havens. These counts are critical in understanding the extent and nature of homelessness in Montgomery County. It is a one-night snapshot, which has limitations, but it does provide us with a reliable estimate. And the data gathered from the count helps inform policymakers, funders, and local communities so we can track progress towards the goal of ending homelessness. Stable, secure housing is critical to combating negative social determinants of health while also supporting households across the income spectrum in achieving greater economic mobility. And everyone plays a role in helping make this happen, from residents and municipalities approving affordable housing in their areas to legislators approving zoning and budgets to support these projects. So on January 25th, volunteers will assist outreach teams with canvassing predetermined locations across Montgomery County for individuals and families experiencing homelessness. Volunteers must be 18 years old or older and be willing to participate from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. on January 25th. There is also a mandatory training session to volunteer, and to sign up, you can visit www.yourwayhome.org/events. Montgomery County will release preliminary data on the count in March, and final totals will be released to the Department of Housing and Urban Development in April. And as I previously mentioned at a past meeting, the Montgomery County Office of Health and Human Services is collecting new coats for the holiday winter coat collection to help individuals and families who are struggling to stay warm this winter. New coats may be dropped off at the Health and Human Services Building, 1430 DeKalb Street, Norristown, through the end of the year. And the greatest need is for adult men and infants and children, sizes up to 5T. Thank you.
Yes. This being the last board meeting of 2021, I would also like to take a moment to wish our county employees and Montgomery County residents a Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year. I read in the news yesterday that for the second year in a row, Philadelphia health officials are urging residents not to get together for the winter holidays. As your Republican Montgomery County Commissioner, I recommend attending Christmas parties and gatherings. Don't be afraid to celebrate your faith with family and friends this holiday season. Thank you.
Okay, we will now move on to public comment on matters appearing on the agenda. Mr. Stein, why don't you go ahead and read the rules, please?
Yes, thank you. All speakers who are present should sign into the meeting sheet available in the back of the room, or if virtual, register in advance and use the raise your hand feature. All speakers who are present must come to the podium if they are physically able. Speakers should identify themselves by name and municipality. All public comments must be relevant or germane to county business. Under the law, this means that the subject matter of all comments must be limited to items or issues which are currently before the Commissioners for consideration, or which may come before the Commissioners for consideration at a future meeting. Whether a matter is germane to county business is a determination to be made by the county solicitor. Profane, slanderous, or discriminatory language or comments will not be tolerated in accordance with the county's non-discrimination policy. Time limit, 2 minutes will be monitored, and county staff will respectfully request speakers to conclude their comments if the speaker goes beyond the time allotted. The board is not required to respond to public comments during the course of the meeting, so the public is reminded that this is not an opportunity for dialogue or questions and answers. The board chair may direct appropriate county staff to follow up on any questions or additional comments after the meeting. Disruptive behavior, including but not limited to yelling from the seats, arguing whether a matter is germane to county business once the solicitor has made a determination on such, or refusing to yield the floor once time has elapsed and being requested to sit down, shall be grounds for removal or muting from the meeting without further admonishment or warning. As always, commissioners welcome written correspondence, comments, and feedback at commissioners@montcopa.org.
Thank you, Mr. Stein. All right, do we have anyone who wishes to make public comment on matters appearing on the agenda?
I think we do. We have one person who's indicated they have budget comment, so Mr. Morgan. Okay. And I just asked that you would speak into the microphone so everyone can hear you. Okay. You can go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here in person because during the budget hearing, I attempted to go onto the Zoom and had a blank screen on my home computer. I suggested a comment to Francisco that for Zoom meetings, I often have a passcode and a meeting ID rather than just a link from this website. So maybe that could be addressed in the future. Please help county taxpayers by reducing the 8% real estate tax increase. This proposal is on top of last year's 5% tax increase. I have brought up the two increases at the, I would have brought up, but I couldn't make it at this meeting. Did you know that Bucks County website, the top of the website, there is 0 tax increase this year for the 2022 upcoming budget. Commissioners Arkoosh and Lawrence, you regularly vote to spend, not conserve. Reading from the 2021 agendas of the Montco PA website, one discovers at your August 19th meeting, Section M, $232 million was awarded for Phase 2 of the Justice Center plan. Why not reduce this capital budget expense to cut taxes? I have the print from that also with me. It's in August, page 9 and 10. $232 million. The campus trees have been cut down. The Hancock Park monuments have been moved at a cost of $500,000 I last checked, possibly for 5 years. I urged you not to take the green away from Norristown a couple years ago. I believe the courthouse annex is also being destroyed. I can't see right now out the window. I suggest you reach out to Bucks County, even at this point, to get information. Those commissioners accomplished construction of a justice center for only $125 million. As I checked the website a few years ago at
Mr.
Bucks
Morgan,
County.
Your time is up.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. All right, any other comments on today's agenda?
We have two other folks in person that have general public comment, and then we also have a few folks online. So I think we can
For
move-
general?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we will move on to general public comment where the same rules apply.
Okay. We'll call up Pauline Bracchio. You can come up. Just gonna start. There you go.
Good morning, Pauline Bracchio from Taliesin Township. I am going to contradict everything you said about COVID. This county is wasting money with this testing and with the vaccines. The Dr. Peter McCullough, who is a world-renowned cardiologist, he is saying that teenagers, especially boys, are more at risk from being hospitalized from the vaccine than they are from COVID. And that's the culprit, is the myocarditis. Myocarditis is not something that you get and it just goes away. It is a serious condition that can be lasting a lifetime. Also, the CDC itself came out with 79% of the people who are getting Omicron variant are fully vaccinated. So it's not the unvaccinated people who are the danger. It's the vaccinated ones. The vaccine is ruining whatever natural immunity a person has. And if a person has had COVID, they don't need a vaccine. They then have lifetime immunity to COVID. So I'm very confused as to why you just want to keep throwing this money away for testing. The PCR test, even the inventor of that test said it's not good and it's not supposed to be used for diagnosing anyone. With the COVID vaccine, this program would have been shut down back in January, according to Dr. McCullough, because there were 182 deaths from the COVID vaccine fairly quickly. And in 1976, they suspended the vaccination for the flu because 3 people died. So you're wasting a lot of money, you're not helping anyone, and if you're truly a physician, you would realize that what the science is saying is that you're wrong. And stop alarming people for no reason. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Corwin?
Good morning. Andrew Corman, Upper Pottsgrove Township. I stand for Truth, Health, and Freedom. I am a survivor of COVID-19, and I do have natural immunity. I grew up in Cheltenham Township, and my family and I have lived in Upper Pottsgrove for the past 16 years. Whatever side of the fence you're on politically, I highly recommend this book. It's called Plandemic, 100% censored, 0 debunked. Chairman Arkoosh, on December 8th, you publicly stated and shared on social media the following. In summary, this ignorance is exactly why politicians should have no say in healthcare decisions. Based on this statement and this information I present, in my opinion, the Montgomery County Office of Public Health should immediately remove its grip on the public schools in this county. They added these rules around masking and social distancing without consent from the community. Dr. Arkoosh, as a medical professional and based on all that's been going on these past 21 months, I would certainly hope you've reviewed the data pertaining to the safety and efficacy of mask wearing. A group of concerned parents in Florida sent 6 used face masks to a lab at the University of Florida requesting an analysis of contaminants. Not shocking to me is that the lab found 11 dangerous pathogens. Dentists have seen an uptick in cavities and gum disease from people wearing masks for lengthy periods of time. COVID rules are also to blame for a 23% dive in young children's cognitive test scores. Mask wearing never slowed the spread. SARS-CoV-2 is a gain-of-function bioweapon which is never going away. End this nonsense. You are peacocking and fear-mongering. COVID-19 disease is never going away, and no amount of mask wearing will change that. On Friday, December 10th, the Supreme Court ruled that mask mandate issued by then Acting Secretary of Health is void ab initio, which means it never happened. Thank you.
Okay, we have one person who is on the Zoom who is requesting public comment. Thomas Blair, you can now unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you very much. First, I want to thank your Director of Elections, Dory Sawyer, for her very thoughtful response to my prior comments and email. According to Dory, the ratio of Democrats to Republicans in Montgomery County is close to 6 out of 10. And although the final results are still not published, I was watching the interim results on the night of the election, and they showed in-person voting results that essentially closely mirrored that actual ratio. But by the next day, late arriving mail-in votes skewed those results. And if you looked only at the mail-in results, the results were grossly skewed and in no way reflected the registration ratio. Now, election issues can cause more passion on one side and result in minor differences between voting and registration. But as long as those differences are caused by issues, then the differences between registration and voting would be reflected both in person and by mail. That was not the case here. The mail-in votes were completely out of sync with the registration ratio and the in-person voting ratio. Any rational person would have to stop and think about that. The differences were not minor. They were statistically off the charts. Something is wrong with a voting method that creates an all but statistically impossible difference between registration ratio and vote count ratio. all of us must leave our politics out of this issue. Even if your side won, the last thing you want is a legitimate doubt about the election integrity. Now, win, lose, or draw, I can live with the results as long as I know that the winners hold their offices not because they were given the result by an election judge, but because they legitimately reflect the will of the voting public. Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, I'd just like to address one of Mr. Blair's statements there. There are no late arriving mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots need to be in our hands by 8 p.m. They are counted throughout the day and after the in-person comes in, but there are no late arriving mail-in ballots.
Thank you. Mr. Lawrence? All right, any other public comments? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a few other folks on Zoom. Next, we will go to Barbara Furman. You can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello.
Barbara Furman, New Hanover Township. To the commissioners and officials and the citizens of Montgomery County, I was elected in November 2021 as a judge of elections, which I plan to fulfill my duties fully and know and verify every legal vote at my precinct, in person, and vote by mail absentee. That has been virtually impossible in the last 2 years after the 2020 election had over 244,000 mail-in ballots cast. I believe that there were over 3,000 in my township of 3 precincts. I am not at all sure of that number because there is no document or report that has that data. In archived elections, I can see 2016, 2018, but no 2020. When the question was asked of the voter services director, she said that the software was changed. There are 401 precincts and 63 municipalities. We have no idea from where those mail-ins came. For the almost month after the 2021 election, I could follow the unofficial election results on the county website to see in-person and mail-in vote totals. The mail-ins were coming in for the days and weeks after the election. That report is now down from the website. Nothing to see here, we are told. All ballots must be counted at their precinct and results reported within the day to follow, not days and weeks. The voters have equal protection of their vote and demand a full forensic audit. Elections certified without proper oversight may lead to mistakes and misconduct. Now that it is known by our public officials, you must audit and report the findings expeditiously. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we will go to Denise Krashi. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. You can now unmute.
Thank you, that's fine. Denise Krasinski, Upper Providence Township. Commissioners, I'd like to formally request a reply to an email that was dated December 1st. That email followed up on a presentation made to your Voter Services Director on November 30th, where evidence was presented and documentation was provided to the voter ballot and voter roll irregularities. Montgomery County voter rolls are highly inflated, which allows for these fraudulent votes in our elections. Our presentation demonstrated that. This needs to be investigated with a forensic audit. Moreover, which is one thing I know Dory was not aware of until our presentation, permitting the continued read and write access to our voter rolls on the county and the state level by politically motivated organizations, including Rock the Vote and the Clinton Foundation, needs to stop immediately. The 4% adjudication rate from our November 2020 election only supports removal of all of these voting machines and scanners. That's an unacceptable adjudication rate. And we're confused why nothing is happening. These atrocities continue to be permitted, especially when 2 of you sitting here are active candidates. It's time, it's way past time to step up, and we're calling on you to act. Thank you.
Next, we will go to Tony Patrick. You can unmute yourself. Tony, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. Okay, Tony, it looks like you have your mic enabled there. If you can unmute. Hi, Tony, we cannot hear you currently. If you want to try muting and unmuting one more time. Okay, I think we'll come back to Tony. We do have one more in-person general public comment from David Morgan.
From Delaware. Two other expenses. October 21st, $8 million was spent on an archives building. We have one on Arch Street. We could try maybe virtual storage. And also May 6th meeting, county purchased a building on West Erie Street for $525,000 with no clear reason to, and your capital budget plans to spend about $1 million more to renovate that building. Now new things for general. First, Commissioner Gale's name should appear with all commissioners on all awards. The presidents of all commissioners noted at the start of the meetings, so it's time to turn over a new page in 2022 by including his name. Those were given out should be redone. Second, please help District Attorney Steele be proactive about crime. Proactive. At the first budget hearing on December 2nd, he had detailed the need to recruit and retain law enforcement personnel. His staff has a tremendous workload. Perhaps some of your personnel could get training at the community college to help him. Wouldn't you think that spending to have sufficient police reduce crime is money better spent than building a justice center to deal with the trials of those who have participated in crime? The first is proactive. The second is reactive, as I see it. Today, with work for home, buildings are not as necessary. Looking at the capital budget for 2022, public safety is $5 million, is less than 10% of the money allocated to the Justice Center. In future years, it looks much worse, like about 1%. 2023 has $110 million for the Justice Center, while public safety is $1.6 million. I suggest you table both budgets, rework them, to cut or hold a line on taxes, be proactive, and conserve our tax dollars more. Finally, I'm personally very pleased, as well as your bridge work. This was good. I have to tell you something good, positive here. Your bridge work is really advancing well in repairs, but I'm very pleased for your support of Montgomery. Please continue to help Toshiba Balak, who with Janet Panning made a wonderful presentation on November 18th meeting at 45 minutes and 24 seconds mark in the video. I'm happy her speech is on your website. Now with PPOR,
and your time is up.
Think of this special, even think about Christmas, the special birth of Jesus during a risky time. Thank you for all your help on that issue. I really commend you for that issue. Thank you.
All right, we'll go back to Tony Patrick again, if you want to unmute. Tony, it looks like we're not able to hear you. I can reach out to get a copy of your comment by email. And that concludes our public comment.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right. We will move on to the approval of the minutes for the November 18th, 2021 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners.
Madam Chair? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry to interrupt. Just want to make you aware there was a change in those minutes.
Okay, why don't I get the motion out there, and then, so I will move to approve those minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Mr. Stein.
Yeah, right before we came in, it was pointed out that the minutes accurately stated that 5 minutes was given for public comment during the budget hearings. It was actually 3 minutes. So the version that you've been emailed does reflect that change. So that would be the version that you would be voting on.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. With that comment noted, any other comment on the minutes? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Next, I will move to approve the December 2nd, 2021 budget hearing minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comments? All right, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, Mr. Dotone, we have a budget to approve.
Yeah, you can use the mouse or this, left or right, yeah, whatever you'd like.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
So just quickly to highlight the budget schedule, as you know, November 18th, staff presented the 2022 proposed budget. 2 public hearings followed where the Commissioners took virtual and in-person public comments, and today we're here for adoption of the 22 budget, or the 2022 budget, which is required by law by the end of the year for 2022. I wanted today to quickly go through some of the high-level numbers for the actions that you're going to be taking, starting with the first, which is the general fund and the 2022 real estate tax millage rate. As you can see, these numbers are unchanged from what was proposed on November 18th. The general fund's projecting revenues of approximately $487 million, with expense of about $498 million, with a structural deficit projected at about $12 million. I did want to note that in these numbers, in both bases, are what I would call one-time short-term expenses and revenues that relate to the pandemic, whether it's grant funding that's coming down through the state or the federal government that has offsetting expense. So both bases are inflated at the moment and will readjust as time goes on. The revenue that's forecasted here does include new real estate tax revenue, approximately $16 million. It also includes cost savings in certain areas on the expense side. There's been an elimination of a number of full-time equivalent positions. We also have ongoing debt service cost savings relating to prior bond refinancings that will occur in 2022 and beyond. So on November 18th, we presented a budget balancing recommendation. I wanted to quickly walk through these 5 steps. The first is the new real estate tax revenue that will be added to the base, which is approximately $16 million, as I noted. In addition to that, there's planned drawdowns of assigned fund balance, one for pension costs, approximately $5 million projected for 2022, and then another drawdown for debt service costs, new debt service costs, about $6.9 million. Which would leave about $100,000 of a moderate drawdown of unassigned fund balance to wipe out the $12 million projected deficit. So if that was to happen, as was laid out in the proposed budget, it would take fund balance down to about $98 million, roughly 20% based on the projected numbers. As noted in the slide here, our fund balance, and the county did implement a formal fund balance policy in 2020 and manages against that. Even with our fund balance goal range of 18 to 20% of general fund revenues, we're still behind the national medians of 33% for fund balances of AAA counties, and that was noted by Moody's Investor Service in our last review. So just moving on to the overall budget, as I said, revenues about $487 million. As you can see, real estate taxes represents almost 50% of the overall general fund budget. Considering that real estate tax grows, or our real estate assessment base grows by just a moderate 0.5% a year, which adds just a little over $1 million of new revenue to a budget of $487 million. We don't have much revenue growth overall for this level of a budget. You can see that the federal and state grants represent almost 40%, and they have offsetting expenses that come with them. with those grants. Just wanted to quickly outline the proposed 2022 real estate tax millage rate that you'll be taking action on. So for the county general fund operating, it's approximately 3.923 mils as proposed. The dedicated funding source to the Montgomery County Community College remains at 0.39. That's been unchanged since the implementation of it in 2017. So with these millage rates, the average single-family home with a market value of approximately $381,000 will pay about $667 towards the county's general fund operating services in 2022. That's about a $49 increase annually over this year. And when you compare that to the region, you can see that we looked at our peer counties around the Philadelphia area here and made a comparison based on, projected county real estate tax paid per $100,000 of market value in each of these counties. You can see that Montgomery County, the third largest in the state of Pennsylvania, is the lowest out of the peer group as presented. Turning to the expense side, in the budget, there's approximately $498 million of expenses that are proposed. I would point out that Health and Human Services is approximately 40%. Some of what I mentioned earlier, expenses that come with it, are some one-time that are in the base that will go away in the future. But this is a lot higher of a number that we're experiencing with dealing with the pandemic at the moment. And also, just wanted to note debt service. Debt service represents 11% of the overall budget. Moody's has noted this in prior credit reviews for Montgomery County. That's a moderate number compared to others and very manageable for us. So turning to the other funds that you'll be taking action on today, there are 6 additional special revenue funds that are outlined in this chart and 1 internal service fund. The special revenue funds are supported by dedicated revenue streams. I did highlight the American Rescue Plan Act, just to note that the county will be receiving overall $160 million in this fund. The way that the budget's been developed, because the American Rescue Plan Act planning is underway, we've allocated expenses for budget purposes on a straight line basis over the next 5 years, and that's where you get the $32 million. The $80 million that's projected would be the remaining 50% of funding that the county anticipates to receive in 2022. So finally, the capital improvement program. The 5-year plan was presented with the proposed budget presentation. As you can see, what you're taking action on today is the projected spending in 2022, which is approximately $245 million. It's made up of several revenue sources, including capital bond proceeds that normally support the capital fund, our motor vehicle registration capital proceeds that support the bridge program, and then state and federal grant revenues and other sources as well. When you look over the 5-year plan, as projected for the next 5 years, it's approximately $899 million. Again, there's various revenue sources that are outlined in the documentation that's been posted on the county's website. So next, I'm going to invite R.J. Griffin up to the podium. R.J. is our capital projects manager, and as you know, over the last few years, we've been working on a budget tool, which is a virtual capital improvement program storybook, and a lot of time's been put into this. R.J. has led the way in developing it, and the departments, have been really responsive in terms of, developing their stories, keeping them updated. So they're learning the product a lot too. With that, though, I'm going to invite RJ up to take you for a tour.
Great.
Good morning, Commissioners. Pleasure to be here, and thank you for the time. So as Dean mentioned, I'm here today to talk about the Virtual Capital Improvement Program. It's a project we began a couple of years ago with the goal of providing greater context and transparency to the county's capital budget and 5-year capital improvement program. We believe that the context provided in these stories really brings the larger numbers that you see in the capital budget to life. And as a whole in finance, led by our CFO, we believe that transparency is key. And we really want to show our taxpayers where their hard-earned dollars are going. And we believe that these stories do that. We have approximately 140 capital projects in the 5-year capital improvement program. And each of those projects has a story with narrative drafted by the departments for them. And I want to quickly just go through a tutorial to remind those at home and those internally where they can find this link right on the county website and how to navigate to and through it. So the link for the stories for each department can be found right on the county's website and on the finance webpage. And this can be accessed by just Googling MyCoPA Finance or by going mycopa.org/finance. And once you're on the finance page, you simply want to scroll down to the 2022 proposed budgets, which will soon be adopted budgets. And directly next to the capital improvement plan is this link here, CIP webpage. Just want to click on that, and you'll be directed to this landing page for the capital improvement program. And once on this landing page, you'll be able to read a little bit about the capital budgeting process and how that occurs each and every year. But then as you scroll down, you'll find these pictures for each service area and or department. And by clicking on whichever department you want to look at, for example, I'll go to Roads and Bridges. You'll be directed to that department's landing page, where again, you get additional information about that program. On the example on the screen, you'll be able to learn about the Roads and Bridges program that the county is heavily invested in and is a great use of our taxpayers' dollars. And you'll learn about what all is going on. And as you scroll, there will be additional information such as interactive maps. This one was developed by our GIS manager, David Long, and it allows you to zoom in and click on, bridge projects in your community, in your area, near your business to learn more about it. And then if you scroll down a little farther, you'll be able to see 5-year outlay of each capital project and those dollar amounts. And what I think is a really cool feature, if you go all the way down to the bottom of the page to this table of contents, you'll be able to select a bridge. And again, each department has this, so everything from our EOC, our Emergency Operations Center of Innovations for our call center operators, to our bridges, to our parks, every department has put together a page for their projects. So in this example, West Valley Green Road Bridge, you can see a priority level here of how the department ranks the project, a map, an interactive map so you can see where it is, some photos of the actual bridge, and then a project description, justification, status, operating budget impact, and grants. So just, again, a whole lot of information here that anyone, both internal and external stakeholders, can take a look at. It tells you how the project is funded. In this case, 80% is federal, 15% state, and 5% county. And at the very bottom, again, is just a table that illustrates how the revenues are generated and how they're going to be spent. And again, this is going to be publicly available very soon, and I encourage everyone at home, internally, to take a look at it. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.
RJ, thank you so much. This is fantastic. I know this has been an enormous amount of work to pull this all together, but I think it will be so helpful for our constituents to be able to see this information. We don't have the time in our meetings to go through every one of these projects, so it's just an enormous resource. And I think my understanding is, Kelly, there'll be a link from the homepage. Yeah, so we'll put this on our county homepage, so it'll be very easy to find. And just want to thank you for all this work. So, you still have more to? Okay.
Do you still have other? Sorry. Okay.
So that concludes our presentation on the budget for you today.
All right, thank you. So, as is required, we will be taking 3 votes on our proposed 2022 budget. The first will be on the general fund operating budget. The second is on 7 non-general fund budgets, and the third is on the capital fund budget. So I will begin by making a motion to approve by the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners of the County of Montgomery for the fiscal year 2022, the tax millage be levied on all real property within the county that is subject to taxation for county purposes shall be 4 3⅓ mills on each dollar of assessed valuation. That's $4.31.3 on each $1,000 of assessed valuation. Be it further resolved that for the general fund expenses of the county totaling $498,561,485 for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2022, are hereby appropriated from the revenues available for the specific purposes as more fully itemized on the budget form attached and on file in the Office of County Commissioner's Chief Financial Officer. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment?
I have comment.
Commissioner Gale?
Okay, thank you. Since taking office in 2016, I have routinely opposed the county's annual budget due to an unsustainable pattern of runaway spending, spiraling deficits, and skyrocketing property taxes. And I will be voting no again this year. In particular, I've been especially critical of the $500 million boondoggle known as the Justice Center construction project. This outlandish expenditure serves as little more than a giveaway to union bosses and is frankly a slap in the face of the taxpayers of Montgomery County. I have not only opposed escalating spending on the County Justice Center project, but I've also opposed increased spending on contracts related to mail-in voting, which has added millions of dollars in additional costs to the county operating budget. I have also opposed redundant and unnecessary county staffing positions, such as the newly created Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Director in the Commissioner's Department. Yet another example of unnecessary waste was the Democrat Montgomery County Commissioner's decision to issue a $150 bonus to all county and court employees who received the coronavirus vaccine. This taxpayer-funded carrot for so-called good behavior is morally unacceptable and fiscally irresponsible. And to the families and property owners who are being hit yet again with another tax increase, please know that as we enter 2022, I will continue to be a fiscal watchdog and a voice for sanity as your conservative representative on the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. That concludes my comments, and I request a roll call vote.
Okay. All right. Ms. Washington.
Chair Arkoosh. Vice Chair Lawrence. And Commissioner Gale.
Opposed.
Motion carries. All right, next we will move on to our 7 non-general fund budgets. I will move that the following 7 operating budgets with expenditures as noted below are hereby adopted and that the proper county officials are authorized and directed in accordance with county purchasing regulations to expend funds for the fiscal year 2022 within the limits set forth below. And these 7 budgets are Health Choices Fund, Emergency Dispatch Services or the 911 Fund, the Liquid Fuel Tax Fund, the Motor Vehicle Registration Fund, the Property and Liability Damage Fund, the Montgomery County Community College Fund, and the American Rescue Plan Act Fund. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment?
Request a roll call vote, please.
We will move on to the vote then. Ms. Washington?
Chair Arkoosh. Vice Chair Lawrence.
Aye.
Commissioner Gale.
Opposed.
Motion carries. Next, we have our 2022 capital fund budget. I will move that the capital fund budget for the 2022 fiscal year is hereby adopted in the amount of $245,053,256, of which $213,845,135 shall be funds of the county. Be it further resolved that the proper county officers are authorized and directed to proceed with the following capital programs subject to all applicable federal, Commonwealth, and county laws, ordinances, regulations, and policies. And those items are the County Campus Plan, Assets and Infrastructure, Planning Commission, Information Technology and Solutions, Public Safety, Economic Development, Rolling Stock, and Correctional Facility. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment?
We'll need another roll call vote.
All right, Ms. Washington? Ms. Washington, you're
Chair
muted.
Arkoosh.
That's okay. Aye.
Vice Chair Lawrence
Aye.
and Commissioner Gale.
Opposed?
All right, motion carries. Mr. Durtone, you have a budget. Congratulations. Thank you to you and your team for an incredible amount of work over these last several months. All right, we will move on to resolutions. Mr. France, authorization of community planning assistance contracts for Pottstown Borough and Upper Salford Township.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Commissioners. Thank you. Yes, I have for you 2 renewals of our Community Planning Assistance Contract Program. As you know, we have contracts with 35 of the municipalities in Montgomery County and 4 regional planning groups to provide planning services and serve as their effective planner in the municipality. These 2 renewals are for Upper Salford Township and Pottstown Borough. Both contracts expire December 31st, and these would renew January 1st, 2022. They'd run for 3 years and expire December 31st, 2024. The Upper Salford contract involves supervisor-directed flexible assistance, including grant writing, trail planning, and zoning and subdivision and land development ordinance updates. The Pottstown Borough contract involves revising the borough's sign ordinance, undertaking a comprehensive zoning ordinance update, a master plan for the Circle of Progress, and an update to their subdivision and land development ordinance. As with all of community planning assistance contracts, the county subsidizes these contracts at 50%, with the municipality paying the remaining 50%. For the Upper Salford contract, the total cost of the contract is $55,692, with the municipal share being $27,846. For Pottstown Borough, the total cost of that contract is $89,964, and their municipal share is $44,982. I believe you have a resolution to approve.
Thank you. I will move that the Montgomery County Commissioners hereby approve the contracts for municipal planning assistance outlined below, and the proper county officials are hereby authorized and directed to execute the same. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, authorization for a short-term contract for planning assistance for the Upper Marion Area School District.
Yes, thank you again. This is another contract in the form of a short-term contract, as we call them. It's with the Upper Marion Area School District, and that board has approved a proposal from the Planning Commission to update its enrollment study for the district and prepare new 10-year enrollment projections. The study will look at demographic trends, birth patterns, housing construction, housing sales activity, and other trends in order to create a model that projects enrollments at each grade level and school building for each of the next 10 years. This is the third full update to the Upper Marion Area School District, to their original study, which I think was back in 2016, I believe. And it will be conducted from December 2021 through March of 2022. With short-term contracts, the government share is 75%, with the county subsidizing 25%. So the full cost of this contract is $10,920, with the school district's share coming to a total of $8,190.
Thank you. I will move that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, are hereby authorized to approve the short-term contract for community planning assistance outlined below. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comments? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. France. Mr. Hartman, authorization of a grant contract with the Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission for the Cross County Trail.
We just have to share it. It's just taking a sec. There you go.
Good morning.
This project relates to a grant award that we received last spring from DVRPC's RTP, or Regional Trails Program, And as you know, that program provides planning assistance and financial support to complete the 800-plus mile circuit trail network. Toward that end, DVRPC RTP released a funding opportunity announcement in September of 2020 to provide approximately $2.6 million for trail projects in the 10-county regional trails program territory. In November 2020, we submitted a grant application to DVRPC for $120,000, combined with a $30,000 county cash match to fund an advanced feasibility study of 2 segments of the Cross County Trail in Plymouth and White Marsh Townships. And I would direct your attention to the map on the screen, which is a portion of the county's primary trail network. I outlined the area that encompasses the entire 17-mile cross-county trail, planned and existing, in orange on the right-hand side of the map. The 2 red circles on the bottom half of that orange polygon represent the 2 areas where the advanced feasibility studies will take place. And then zooming in, and I don't expect you to see every single detail on this, but this represents one portion that we'll be studying. On the left-hand side, this portion of the proposed cross-county trail will run from Germantown Pike in Plymouth Township, and as the red line continues to the east, it will tie into another section of the proposed cross-county trail on Joshua Road at the KYW property. So that's one segment that we'll study. The second segment is a portion further to the east and north. This segment extends between just south of Skipback Pike and White Marsh Township at the bottom of the red line near Fort Washington State Park, and it will extend north to where it will tie into an existing portion of the cross-county trail at the Fort Washington SEPTA Regional Rail Station, again at the top of the map there. This past April, DVRPC awarded the requested $120,000 RTP grant to Montgomery County for these studies, which will include, among other tasks, trail alignment alternatives and a preferred alignment, and preliminary cost estimates of acquisition, design, and construction. We understand the contracting process and other conditions required to accept and incur costs related to these planning grant dollars, and we agree to perform these services and comply with the requirements specified in the agreement that will be between DVRPC and Montgomery County, as well as its related exhibits. The county solicitor's office has reviewed the draft agreement and has no objections to it, and we're currently in the process of working through a few minor edits to that agreement with DVRPC, which should be resolved very shortly. So therefore, we're requesting your authorization for the county to enter into the agreement with DVRPC to receive the grant and to provide the required county match. Thank you.
I will move that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, are hereby authorized to enter into an agreement with the Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission for receipt of a grant in the amount of $120,000 and to provide $30,000 in cash to match the grant. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries.
Great.
Thanks, Mr. Hartman. It's great
Thanks
to
so
see
much.
this moving along,
Yes,
slowly but
thanks.
surely. Yep. Okay, Mr. Stein, a TEFRA.
Yes. I have another request under the Tax Equity and Fiscal Responsibility Act of 1981. This one from the Montgomery County Higher Education and Health Authority, and as a reminder, we did appoint myself and Ms. Barbara O'Malley to that board a few months back. The request is from Thomas Jefferson University, who you may recall did a refunding of about $500 million about 2 years ago. This one would be for $1.6 billion, a rather large one, mostly related to refundings for their acquisition of Einstein Medical System, including Einstein Medical Center in East Norton and the Albert Einstein Medical Center in Elkins Park, as well as a number of other facilities throughout the county. There will also be funds used to finance new projects in Philadelphia, including at their Jefferson Main campus in Center City, and TEFRA approval has been given by the city as well for that. And as always, there is no obligation on the county.
Thank you. I will move that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, hereby approve the project for Thomas Jefferson University. Be it further resolved that the approvals and declarations in this resolution shall in no way pledge or otherwise obligate the credit or taxing power of the county, nor shall the county be liable for the payment of principal of, or interest, or premium, if any, on any obligations issued to finance the project, nor shall the county have any obligation or liability whatsoever with respect to the project. This resolution shall take effect on the date of adoption hereof. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? All right, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Mr. Stein, Hurricane Ida disaster declaration extension.
Yes, as you were aware, the county declared an emergency declaration following Hurricane Ida at the beginning of September. Under the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Services Code, those declarations last for 60 days. As the county continues to incur costs related to both cleanup as well as our attempts to house and help the individuals who were left homeless as a result of the storm, we continue to incur those costs, and renewing the emergency declaration for another 60 days will allow us to submit for reimbursements on those costs.
I will move that we, the undersigned commissioners of Montgomery County, pursuant to the provisions of Section 7501 of the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Services Code as amended, do hereby declare the existence of a disaster emergency in Montgomery County. Be it further resolved that we direct the Montgomery County Department of Public Safety to coordinate the activities of the emergency response, to take all appropriate action needed to alleviate the effects of this disaster, to aid in the restoration of essential public services, and to take any other emergency response action deemed necessary to respond to this disaster emergency. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? All right, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Authorization to enter the nationwide opioid settlement. Mr. Stein.
Yes, obviously do not need to tell the commissioners that the United States continues to struggle under the opioid epidemic, and Pennsylvania and Montgomery County are obviously not exceptions to that. We've been following closely the lawsuits that have been filed against the opioid makers and distributors, and while we have not litigated ourselves, we have been watching to see how the settlement talks have progressed. Those talks have now led to a proposed settlement with the distributors and Johnson & Johnson, which would see approximately $1 billion maximum flowing to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, of which approximately $700 million would be earmarked for the counties, a maximum amount of $35 million of which might go to Montgomery County, assuming everything plays out as we would hope it would. Those funds are very specifically marked for certain permitted uses, which have to be used for opioid addiction prevention and treatment programs, and other uses dedicated specifically to deal with the fallout of the opioid epidemic. This was negotiated by both the attorneys representing individual claimants as well as the attorneys general for of the many United States, including Pennsylvania's. Their recommendation is that we enter into the settlement agreement. Having reviewed it, I agree that it is probably the best deal that we would be likely to get.
Thank you. I will move that the Montgomery County Commissioners hereby approve the county's participation in the proposed opioid settlement agreements and authorizes the county solicitor, Mr. Josh Stein, to execute any and all documentation necessary to the county's claims against the settling defendants in exchange for the consideration set forth in the settlement and trust agreements. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stein, you noted that the amount of money that we would ultimately receive is uncertain. Could you explain a little bit about why that's so?
Yes, so that there is a base amount that all the parties would receive from the distributors, as well as a base amount that they would get from Johnson & Johnson. That's 55% of the amount that they're supposed to pay out is base for the distributors, 45% for Johnson & Johnson. And then the rest are enhancements that are based on the number of participants that sign up. The states are working with the counties, such as Montgomery County, to get all of us signed up. And then it is on the counties to get all the municipalities over 10,000 to sign up. If just a few of those, if you miss out on any of those with 30,000 or more residents, according to the 2019 census estimate, then you would lose out on one of those enhancements. If you don't get everybody over 10,000, then you would lose out on a separate enhancement. So the $35 million number would require that all the counties throughout Pennsylvania, as well as all of the municipalities thereunder, all sign off on these agreements. So that is probably unlikely to occur, but however, the more that do it, the more that is available to both the counties, to the municipalities, and to the state as well.
All right, any other board comment? No? Okay, all right, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Next, we have some reappointments to various county boards. We will start with the Commissioner's reappointment to the Montgomery County Agricultural Land Preservation Board. I will move to reappoint Brett Altman as the biddable representative for the Montgomery County Agricultural Land Preservation Board for a term that begins on January 1st, 2022 and expires on December 31st, 2024, to serve at the pleasure of the County Commissioners and in accordance with the current duly adopted bylaws. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Next is a reappointment to the Montgomery County Soil Conservation District. I will move to reappoint myself, Commissioner Valerie Arkoosh, to the Board of Directors to the Montgomery County Conservation District from January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022, to serve as the county's representative, and to reappoint Daniel Price as a Farmer Director from January 1st, 2022 and until December 31st, 2025. Mr. Price will serve at the pleasure of the County Commissioners and in accordance with the State Conservation District law. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes?
I'm a negative vote.
Okay, Ms. Well, we don't need to roll call. The motion carries 2-1. Next, Commissioner's reappointment to the Montgomery County Housing Authority. I will move to reappoint Reverend Dr. John Edward Douglas to the Montgomery County Housing Authority for a term to begin January 1st, 2022, and to expire on December 31st, 2026, and to serve at the pleasure of the County Commissioners and in accordance with the current duly adopted bylaws. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. And finally, the Commissioner's reappointments to the Montgomery County Planning Commission Board. I will move that Dulcie Flaherty, Robert Blue, and John Ernst be reappointed to the Montgomery County Planning Commission for terms to begin on January 1st, 2022, and to expire on December 31st, 2025, and to serve at the pleasure of the County Commissioners and in accordance with the current duly adopted bylaws. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, Ms. Perdue, our personnel list.
Good morning, Commissioners. You should have in front of you the final copy of the Commissioners Department's personnel list. It is a 4-page document dated Wednesday, December 15th, 2021, with a timestamp of 11:30 a.m. All positions have been reviewed and accounted for and are presented for consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Perdue. I will move to approve the December 16th, 2021 personnel presentation as given by Director of Human Resources, Ms. Donna Perdue, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. All right, Ms. O'Malley, advertisements of bids and RFPs.
Yes. We have a bid on behalf of Assets and Infrastructure for road salt. The successful bidder will provide supplemental road salt on an as-needed basis. Contract to be awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. 2 is a bid on behalf of Assets and Infrastructure for a bridge replacement. The successful responder will provide for the replacement of County Bridge number 177, Sturgis Street over Stony Creek in Norristown. Contract will be awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. 3, bid on behalf of Assets and Infrastructure for a bridge replacement. The successful responder will provide for the replacement of County Bridge 77, Plymouth Road over Wissahickon Creek in Lower Gwinnett Township. Contract will be awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. 4, bid on behalf of the Planning Commission for road reconstruction. The successful responder will provide for the widening and reconstruction of Ridge Pike in Springfield Township and White Marsh Township in Montgomery County and the City of Philadelphia. Contract will be awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. 5, RFP on behalf of Assets and Infrastructure for on-call engineering services. The successful responders will provide design, engineering, and analysis services across multiple disciplines to support ongoing and future county construction projects as requirements arise. This RFP will create a list of firms that can be accessed over a 3-year period based on pre-qualification of expertise and cost rates. Contracts will be awarded to the highest rated responders. 6, RFP on behalf of the Montgomery County Higher Education and Health Authority for an auditor. The successful responder will provide licensed certified public accountant services to audit financial statements for the authority. Contract will be awarded to the highest rated responder. 7, RFP on behalf of the Montgomery County Higher Education and Health Authority for a solicitor. The successful responder will perform the authority's standard legal services as an economic development authority and issuer of tax-exempt financing. Contract will be awarded to the highest rated responder. 8, RFP on behalf of Health and Human Services for psychological services. The successful responders will provide psychologist services primarily to assist with the ongoing work of the Older Adult Protective Services Unit. Contracts will be awarded to the highest rated responders. 9, RFP on behalf of Housing for an Emergency Rental Assistance Program Consultant. The successful responder will provide administration services and guidance for the Federal Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Contract will be awarded to the highest rated responder. 10, RFP on behalf of Workforce Development for Workforce Program Services. The successful responders will propose short-term projects that meet the needs of eligible adults and dislocated workers served through PA CareerLink Montgomery County. Short-term projects should address specific career readiness or training needs for job seekers and/or employers or inform future workforce planning. Contracts will be awarded to the highest rated responders. 11, RFI on behalf of Health and Human Services for emergency shelter operations. Montgomery County's Office of Housing and Community Development is requesting information from local interested partners within Montgomery County who wish to be responsive to their community's emergency housing needs and provide emergency housing, lodging, and services to those facing or experiencing unsheltered homelessness. Your Way Home is looking to expand the number of emergency housing beds available to those in need via expansion of existing emergency shelter sites or developing new sites. This RFI is looking to gather information on how to better provide emergency housing services throughout Montgomery County to respond to local needs.
All right, thank you, Ms. O'Malley. I will move to approve the preceding requests for the advertisements of bids, RFPs, and an RFI, as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? All right, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Advertisements of an RFP for the Southeastern Regional Task Force.
Yes. 1, an RFP for network security services. The successful responder will implement managed network security elements within all networks associated with Montgomery County Department of Public Safety. Elements include, but not limited to, cybersecurity audit, analysis and penetration testing, training, network security monitoring, hardware and software, activation of 24/7, 365 network monitoring, intrusion response and recovery, and development of strategies and policies regarding any potential network threats, intrusions, or breaches. Contract will be awarded to the highest rated responder. All bids, RFPs, and RFIs are available on the county's purchasing website at www.montcopa.org/purchasing.
Thank you. I will move to approve the preceding request for the advertisement of an RFP on behalf of the Southeast Pennsylvania Regional Task Force, as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, Ms. O'Malley, you have an extensive list of end-of-year contracts here, so
Yes, I will
please
do my best. Yes.
carry forth.
1, contract award, adult probation, Office of Children, Youth, and Pretrial Services, Toxicology Services, Redwood Toxicology Laboratory, Incorporated of Santa Rosa, California, $321,900. Contract provides for toxicology services and supplies for adult probation, children, youth, and pretrial services. Contract is for a term of 1 year beginning January 1, 2022. Contract is available through a Sourcewell cooperative contract. 2, contract award, assets and infrastructure, municipality fees, Lower Providence Township Sewer Authority of Eagleville, PA, $191,688. Contract provides for connection service to the new coroner and archives buildings to the township sewer system. 3, contract award, assets and infrastructure, bottled water, Crystal Springs of Atlanta, Georgia, $65,000. Contract provides for bottled water and dispenser rentals. Water is available through a PA Department of General Services contract. Contract period is for the 2022 term. 4, contract award, assets and infrastructure, paper products, Veritiv Corporation of Camp Hill, PA, $50,000. Contract provides for consumable paper products for use at county-owned facilities. Products are available through a PA CoStarz contract. Contract period is for the 2022 term. 5, contract award, assets and infrastructure, specialty equipment, CSI Jewett of Fairview, PA, $872,360. Contract provides for specialty equipment required to outfit the new coroner facility. Specification 6464 was viewed by 31 responders with 3 responses received. Contract is awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. 6, contract award assets and infrastructure, construction inspection services, Pannoni Associates Incorporated of Philadelphia, PA, $96,417.80. Contract provides for full-time on-site construction oversight and inspection during the replacement of County Bridge 77 located on Plymouth Road over Wissahickon Creek in Lower Gwinnett Township. RFP 2135 was viewed by 35 providers with 8 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated responder. 7, contract award assets and infrastructure, construction inspection services, McMahon Associates Incorporated of Fort Washington, PA, $266,453.84. Contract provides for full-time on-site construction oversight and inspection during the replacement of County Bridge 177 located on Soldier Street over Branch Stony Creek in the municipality of Norristown. RFP 2134 was viewed by 42 providers with 8 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated responder. 8, contract award assets and infrastructure, roof replacement, Kupex Exteriors LLC of Trenton, New Jersey, $34,816. Contract provides for the replacement of the Lorimer Park Pavilion roof. Specification 6458 was viewed by 35 providers with 5 responses received. Contract is awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. 9, contract award Board of Assessment proprietary software, Tyler Technologies Incorporated of Marion, Ohio, $400,570. Maintenance and hosting of the IAS World software, which provides new releases and upgrades for the county's property search tool. IAS World software allows for remote entry of assessment and tax data. Software and services are proprietary. Contract period is for the 2022 term. 10, contract award Clerk of Courts Collection Agent, Line Barger, Gogan, Blair, and Sampson, LLP of Philadelphia, PA, no cost. Contract provides for specific legal services required to collect delinquent receivables for the Clerk of Court's offices. All fees paid by individual being collected upon. 11, contract award court-related departments, legal research, Thompson Reuters, west of Carroll Stream, Illinois, $500,000. Contracts provide for access of Westlaw online and print legal research resources. County users include district attorney, public defender, solicitor, and court services. Contract period is for the 2022 term. 12, contract award courts, legal services, legal aid of Southeastern PA, Norristown, PA, $70,000. Contract provides legal representation for lower income parents in juvenile court matters, as well as in parental termination matters in juvenile and orphans court for the 2022 term. Legal aid of Southeastern Pennsylvania is uniquely and individually suited to provide the assistance sought by the courts. 13, contract award courts, legal advocacy, Montgomery County Child Advocacy Project of Norristown, PA, $330,000. Contract provides legal advocacy representation for minors involved in juvenile court and orphans court system for the 2022 term. Montgomery County Child Advocacy Project is uniquely and individually suited to provide the assistance sought by the courts. 14, contract award courts, protection assistance, Women's Center of Montgomery County of Norristown, PA, $10,000. Contract provides assistance for county residents seeking protection from abuse orders through the Montgomery County court system for the 2022 term. 15, contract award Health and Human Services software, Solve Health, San Francisco, California, $27,000. Contract provides for COVID test site scheduling services. Software is proprietary. Contract is for a period of 1 year. 16, contract award Health and Human Services training program, Montgomery County Intermediate Unit 23 of Norristown, PA, $31,500. Contract provides for a student assistance program grades K through 12 training for Montgomery County school districts. RFP 2153 was viewed by 29 providers with 3 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated responder. Contract is for a period of 2 years, 3 optional annual renewal terms. 17, contract award Health and Human Services, vaccination site cleaning services, Elite Facility Services of Claymont, Delaware, $40,000. Contract provides for cleaning services for 2 vaccine clinics run by the Montgomery County Office of Public Health. RFP 2166 was viewed by 50 providers with 7 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated responder. Contracts for a period of 6 months with up to 3 additional 6-month terms or portion thereof through December 31, 2023. 18, contract award Human Resources Administration Services, Inserco Insurance Services Incorporated of Harrisburg, PA, $149,630. Contract provides for third-party claims administration for county general liability insurance. RFP 2149 was viewed by 50 providers with 2 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated responder. Contract is for a period of 3 years with 2 optional annual renewal periods. 19, contract award Human Resources Healthcare Stop Loss Insurance, HM Life Insurance Company of Plymouth Meeting, PA, $2,186,159. Contract provides stop loss insurance for the county health plan, which protects the plan against individual catastrophic health claims over $325,000. Award to HM Life Insurance Company is at the recommendation of county's benefit consultant which determined that the HM Life Insurance Company proposal provided the best overall economic benefit to the county. Contract will cover the period of 1/1/2022 through 12/31/2022. 20, contract award Human Resources Insurance, Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry of Harrisburg, PA, $31,774. Contract provides for the 2021 Self-Insurance Workers' Compensation Administration Fund fees. 21, contract award Information and Technology Solutions Hardware, SHI International Corporation of Somerset, New Jersey, $38,317.20. Contract provides for printers and scanners for use in the pathonetary's office. Equipment is available through a PA CoStarz contract. 22, contract award Information and Technology Solutions Software Upgrade, Gimmel LLC of Houston, Texas, $55,000. Contract provides for an upgrade to the InfoLink software used by the archives facility. Software is proprietary. 23, contract award Information and Technology Solutions Software Maintenance, Environmental Systems Research Incorporated of Redlands, California, $82,615. Contract provides software maintenance for the county's proprietary geographical information system. Contract period is for the 2022 term. 24, contract award Planning Commission, Engineering, Salutary Architecture of Norristown, PA, not to exceed $100,000. Contract provides for architectural and engineering services for the renovation of the Trail Junction Center. RFP 2145 was viewed by 92 providers with 10 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated responder. 25, contract award Public Safety, Rescue, Training, Props, Nice Construction Services Incorporated of Sellersville, PA, $1,699,991.65. Contract provides for on-site construction for vehicle and trench rescue training props at the Public Safety Training Campus. Specification 6452 was viewed by 32 providers with 2 responses received. Contract is awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. 26, contract award Public Safety Software, Cloud PCR LLC, Pittsburgh, PA, $89,500. Contract provides for a data bridge that will allow for the collection of all emergency medical systems, services, patient report data at a regional level. Software is proprietary. Contract is for the period of 1 year. 27, contract award Public Safety, Tower Demolition, JG Contracting Company Incorporated of Carnegie, PA, $88,530. Contract provides for the demolition and removal of the 300-foot tower at the Emergency Operating Center in Eagleville. Specification 6462 was viewed by 40 providers with 3 responses received. Contract is awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. 28, contract award Public Safety, Language Interpretation, Language Line Services Incorporated of Monterey, California, $60,000. Contract provides for language interpretation and translation services for public safety and other county departments as needed. RFP 2151 was viewed by 76 providers with 24 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated provider. Contract is for a period of 1 year before optional annual renewals. 29, contract award Public Safety Vehicle, Flick Fire Equipment Company of Birmingham, PA, $1,665,550. Contract provides for a field communications vehicle which will provide on-site communications and command support for large and small-scale incidents. Vehicle is available through a PA CoStarz contract. 30, contract award Public Safety Equipment, Motorola of Chicago, Illinois, $851,850.82. Contract provides communications equipment for the new field communications unit. Equipment is available through a PA state contract. 31, contract award Public Safety Vehicle, Emergency Vehicles Incorporated of Lake Park, Florida, $725,438. Contract provides for a hazmat response vehicle for use by the county hazmat team for response to hazardous materials incidents. Vehicle is available through a PA CoStarz contract. 32, contract award Public Safety Audiovisual Upgrade Laro Corporation of Norristown, PA, $175,973.88. Contract provides for an upgrade to the classroom audiovisual equipment at the Public Safety Training Campus. Services are available through a PA CoStarz contract. 33, contract renewal Recorder of Deeds Software, Co-File Preservation Incorporated of Dallas, Texas, $84,000. Contract provides for the annual maintenance fee for the Recorder of Deeds electronic recording system. This is the 4th of 4 optional annual renewals. 34, contract award Sheriff, proprietary software, Tyler Technologies Incorporated of Marion, Ohio, $34,177.32. Maintenance and support for the existing civil service software. Contract provides for annual software maintenance and support for the county's civil process automation system. Contract renewal is valid for the period of 12/24/2021 through 12/23/2022. 35, contract renewal Veterans Affairs flags, multiple providers, $48,000. Contract provides flags for use by the members of the Southeastern PA County's Cooperative Purchasing Board. Renewal is for a period of 1 year. Montgomery County will purchase 438 gross for the Veterans Affairs departments. 36, contract amendment Human Resources. Healthcare Stop Loss Insurance, Swiss RE of Enfield, Connecticut, $1,904. Contract provides stop-loss insurance for the county health plan, which protects the plan against individual catastrophic health claims over $325,000. Amendment provides for additional stop-loss premiums based on actual medical plan enrollments by coverage levels. 37, Contract Amendment Information and Technology Solutions System Upgrade, Pomeroy Technologies Incorporated of Hebron, Kentucky, no cost. Original contract provides for an upgrade to the virtual desktop environment. Amendment provides for no-cost time extension of the contract through 12/30/2022. System and services upgrades are available through a PA CoStarz contract. 38, Contract Amendment Information and Technology Solutions Consultant, RSM Disease and Outbreak Management System, $136,520. Original contract provides for the implementation of a disease and outbreak management system. Amendment provides for 718 hours of service for 2021 to provide for training, reporting, support, and registration services. Amendment also extends the contract term through May 31, 2022. 39, Contract Amendment Planning Commission Engineering, Gannett Fleming, $170,262.45. Original contract provides for engineering services during construction activities on the Ridge Pike Improvement Project from Crescent Avenue to Northwestern Avenue in White Marsh and Springfield Townships. Original amendment provided for Part 3 to supplement. Current amendment provides requests for a correction to the noted revised contract value approved on Resolution 21C-195 dated 5/6/2021. 40, Contract Amendment Planning Commission Engineering, Alfred Benish and Company of Allentown, PA, $11,625. Original contract provides for engineering services required for flood mitigation design at 6007 West Valley Green Road in White Marsh Township. Amendment provides for unanticipated expenses in regard to obtaining the required permits from White Marsh Township. 41, Contract Amendment Public Safety System Upgrade, Hexagon Safety and Infrastructure of Huntsville, Alabama, $11,938.52. Original contract provided for an upgrade to the Emergency Operating Center's 911 computer-aided dispatch system. Upgrade allows the hardware and software to become compatible with next-generation 911 technology and be compliant with national standards. Amendment provides for the addition of custom interface capabilities in order to incorporate the APCO and telecom protocol system and maintenance support for the interface system. System is proprietary. 42, Contract Award Voter Services Equipment, OPEX Corporation of Morristown, New Jersey, $35,475. Contract provides for support and maintenance coverage for the ballot extraction equipment used during elections. Contract is for a one-year term. Service and support is available from an NASPO cooperative contract. 43, Contract Renewal Voter Services, Dominion Voting Systems Incorporated of Denver, Colorado, $495,915.13. Contract provides for a countywide voting system. Contract renewal is for software licenses, hardware warranties, and election support services for the 2022 term. 44, 3 contracts, 38 contract renewals, and 17 amendments for Health and Human Services. Providers and services are listed at the end of the agenda and in the back of the room.
Thank you, Ms. O'Malley. I will move to approve the preceding awards of contract as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment?
Yes, I'd like to request a contract award 42 and 43. That's voter services equipment and also voter services Dominion voting machines contract, separated from the motion on the floor because I plan on opposing those.
But you wish to support the other
Yes.
contracts? All right, I will entertain that. Then we will vote on contracts 1 through 41 as described. Any additional board comment?
And 44.
And 44.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Stein, and 44. So 1 through 41 and number 44 as described. Any additional board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, I will move to approve contract awards number 42 and 43 as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Will request a roll call vote. Ms. Washington?
Chair Arkoosh,
Aye.
Vice Chair Lawrence, Commissioner Gale,
Opposed.
Motion carries. All right, awards of contract for assets and infrastructure, Ms. O'Malley.
1, Contract Award Human Resources Commercial Lines of Insurance, KMRD Partners Incorporated of Warrenton, PA, $377,500. Authorizing the purchase of builder's risk policy for the Justice Center project. Coverage effective 12/1/2021 to 10/1/2024. 2, Contract Amendment Assets and Infrastructure, Skanska USA Building Incorporated of Parsippany, New Jersey, $584,897. Original contract provides for construction management services for buildings at the Eagleville campus. Amendment provides for staffing to cover 6-month increase in overall schedule as compared to original RFP timeframe, commissioning services for mechanical and electrical systems, asset management system data collection, validation, and integration, and provision of central trailers saving county funds in construction contracts.
I will move to approve the preceding awards of contract as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? All right,
Roll call vote.
Okay. We will have a roll call vote then. Ms. Washington.
Chair Arkoosh. Aye. Vice Chair Lawrence.
Aye.
Commissioner Gale.
Opposed.
Motion carries. Next, we have awards of contract for emergency procurement for Hurricane Ida.
Yes. 1, Response Services Transportation GoGo Technologies of San Francisco, California, not to exceed $300,000. Contract provides for rideshare services for individuals affected by Hurricane Ida who require transportation. 2, Response Services Temporary Housing Multiple Providers, $1,855,000. Contracts provide for temporary housing for individuals and families affected by Hurricane Ida. 3, Response Services Contract Amendment Assets and Infrastructure Engineering American Engineering Group LLC of Phoenixville, PA, $24,454.80. Original contract provides for the design and engineering services for the reconstruction of County Bridge number 294, King Road over Ridge Valley Creek in Salford Township. Amendment provides for reinspection of bridge to ensure that no additional damage occurred as a result of Hurricane Ida and an evaluation of bridge for emergency vehicle access requested by the township. 4, Response Services Contract Amendment Bridge Repairs Loftus Construction Incorporated of Cinnaminson, New Jersey, $61,979.28. Original contract provided for emergency storm-related repairs to County Bridge number 142, Germantown Pike over Skipback Creek in Lower Providence Township, and County Bridge number 214, Gargis Road over Perkins Creek in Skipback Township. Amendment provides for additional storm-related repairs required.
Thank you. I will move to approve the preceding awards of contract as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? All right, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Now we have awards of contract for the Southeast Pennsylvania Regional Task Force.
Yes, 1, Contract Award Training MedTech Services Incorporated in Philadelphia, PA, $27,600. Contract provides for tower rescue technician training for the Philadelphia Fire Department. This training will provide competency in high-angle rescue operations for a variety of tower types. Training is proprietary. 2, Contract Award Equipment IMS Technology Services of Garnet Valley, PA, $80,498.37. Contract provides for the replacement of the mast camera on the command post for the Bucks County Emergency Service Mobile Command Center. The upgraded camera and technology will provide security enhancement to the physical command post and improve monitoring with police and other emergency services. Equipment is available through a PA CoStarz contract. 3, Contract Award Reasonable Accommodation Services Deaf Hearing Communication Center Incorporated of Swarthmore, PA, $10,000. Contract provides for reasonable accommodation services for the Access and Functional Needs Subcommittee of the Health and Human Services Work Group of the Southeastern Pennsylvania Regional Task Force for regularly scheduled meetings and hosted trainings for the regional counties. RFP 2150 was viewed by 11 providers with 3 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated responder. 4, Contract Awards Project Management Services, IGNX LLC of Radnor, PA, $75,000. Contract provides for project management services for Chester County Fire and EMS Strategic Plan Steering Committee. RFP 2127 was viewed by 49 providers with 2 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated provider. 5, Contract Amendment Equipment, Plate Logic LLC of Downingtown, PA, $34,912. Original contract provided for stationary license plate readers in select Montgomery County municipalities. Amendment provides for the addition of ALPR equipment at the intersection of Route 202 and Route 63 in Montgomery Township. Equipment is available through a PA CoStarz contract.
Thank you. I will move to approve the preceding awards of contract on behalf of the Southeast Pennsylvania Regional Task Force as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Ms. O'Malley. All right, any closing commissioner comments?
I'd just like to join my colleagues in wishing our county family a Merry Christmas, a Happy Kwanzaa, for those of you who celebrate it, a Happy Hanukkah, or whatever you celebrate. Thank you for all you do all year long.
Thank you. All right, with that, I will announce that our next Board of Commissioners meeting will be on January 6th, 2022. And I will move to adjourn the December 16th, 2021 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Any negative votes? Meeting is adjourned, and invite the controller to the dais. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, we will start with any public comment on salary board. If you have public comment, raise your hand. Okay. Then Ms. Pardue.
Good morning, members of Salary Board. You should have in front of you the final copy of the Salary Board list. It is a 6-page document dated Wednesday, December 15th, 2021, with a timestamp of 11:30 a.m. Of note, we have 5 retirees. Robert Earhart from Assets and Infrastructure after 13 years. Brian Thomas from Board of Assessment after 18 years. Mary Lou Doughty from Children and Youth after 33 years. Sandra Wells from Commerce after 45 years. And Eileen Shapiro from Senior Services after 24 years. All positions have been reviewed and accounted for and are presented for Salary Board consideration.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the December 16th, 2021 Salary Board presentation as given by the Director of Human Resources, Ms. Donna Pardue, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same?
So moved.
Moved by Controller Sanchez.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comments? All right, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Are you going to introduce the second motion, or? I can just proceed? Okay, perfect. All right, we have a second motion today. Is there a motion that effective December 26, 2021, except as restricted by status or by statute or otherwise by Resolution 94-C756 or Resolution 06-C290 relating to the salaries of certain elected officials, a pay increase of 2 3/4% be granted to all qualified full-time and part-time employees. Qualified full-time and part-time employees, for the purposes of this resolution, excludes those employees who are members of a bargaining union, including those employees subject to a, quote, status quo, unquote, requirement, elected officials, employees otherwise covered by a separate agreement or resolution, and those employees who are active in the retirement process. Is there that motion?
I'm sorry, what was the effective date of it?
December 26th?
Okay,
Is that,
right?
Either, we wanted to, if you're going to have a December timeline, it should be the 25th, because that's the beginning of a new pay period.
Right.
my apologies, I think we misunderstood, and
Oh, no.
then the resolution should read as the
No, but
25th.
I thought it was gonna be the first,
Right.
January 1st. I actually thought it was going to be either the 25th or the 1st, and I think it was agreed upon it was the 1st.
Okay, then
that
my
right?
apologies, then that wasn't
Okay.
communicated. So
Got it.
but the resolution can be amended, obviously, to make January 1st the effective date.
Okay.
All right, we're all on the same page on this? Okay. All right. I
So-
will.
Are we all on the
Entertain-
same page on this?
It seems that we are at this point, January 1st, it seems
Okay, I'm
appropriate.
looking at our
Yes.
CFO. Should we recess? And
All right, looks like we need to recess. We will recess for 5 minutes while we sort this out. that the appropriate date was meant to be January 1st. So, Mr. Stein, is it all right do we need to formally amend this, or can I just withdraw the original?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is your motion, you can withdraw
I'm going to
it.
withdraw the original motion, and I am going to ask if there is a motion that effective January 1st, 2022, except as restricted by statute or otherwise by Resolution 94-C 756 or Resolution 06-C 290, relating to the salaries of certain elected officials, a pay increase of 2 3/4% be granted to all qualified full-time and part-time employees. Qualified full-time and part-time employees, for the purposes of this resolution, excludes those employees who are members of a bargaining union, including those employees subject to a, quote, status quo requirement, elected officials, employees otherwise covered by a separate agreement or resolution, and those employees who are active in the retirement process.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence, moved by Controller Sanchez. All right, any board comment? Good, okay. All right, with that, we will move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. I know we have 2 retirees today, Ms. Perdue.
We do, and first, we have James Walters to speak.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Commissioners, for letting me talk a little bit about Mary Lou here. I just wanted to say I haven't had a chance to work with Mary Lou for too long. She's worked here for 33 years, and I've only had the honor of working with her for the past 4 years in my office in Integrative Services. But I just wanted to say how wonderful it's been to work with her over these years. She really has 2 wonderful qualities that I'm hoping that I can emulate in my own career. That first one being that she really has at her core a desire to serve others. In big things and in little things, I've always seen it in stepping up to help with Ida residents that were displaced with the flood and getting them into hotels, and even into the little things with helping out other staff and filling out expense reports and stuff. She takes such great pleasure in just helping and serving other people. So it's just one of those qualities that I hope to emulate in my own career, and I wanted to kind of call out here. And then also she has such a great desire to, or ability to, I should say, the accepting of change and really the challenges that come with change. My office with the reorganization of HHS and never skipped a beat. She just kept on moving forward with a positive attitude. So just wanted to kind of call out those 2 wonderful qualities that Mary Lou had, and really say that it's something that I hope that all of us in our service to the county are able to kind of get behind. With all of the work that she's done, again, she's only worked with me for 4 years and 29 years at the Office of Children and Youth. I'm sure she's helped so many people throughout that time, and taking those qualities to all of the clients that she's worked with and colleagues that she's worked with throughout. So just wanted to call that out, call that to your attention, say thank you to Mary Lou for the work that she has done, and thank you again for providing an opportunity for her to be recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Walters. And next, we have Mr. Zellers. Get him up here.
Morning, salary board members, and happy holidays to you all. I appreciate the opportunity to say a few words about Sandy Wells, who will be leaving us early next month after 45 years with the county as part of our workforce development team. It's remarkable to think about Sandy's career began under the workforce development programs that came out of Lyndon Johnson's Great Society, and has transitioned all the way through several major federal pieces of legislation to where we are today with WIOA. The over 2,000 individuals who've come into the Career Link this year wouldn't know Sandy, but her work in making sure that the files and all the paperwork is in order to provide them with support and services is really foundational to us being able to assist them, work closely with all of our partners in the workforce development system, and has also ensured that our workforce development team is really the highest performing in the entire state. But more importantly, in so many ways, Sandy is the person in the office who always made the first pot of coffee in the morning. She's the keeper of the snack drawer in the office. She was always the first one in, and I was always the second one in when we were all there together. And in the spring and the summer, we would talk about the Phillies. Not so much in the fall for obvious reasons, but there's always next season, I suppose. But Sandy is the kind of person who
makes an office more than just a collection of folks with desks, and really is a indelible part of the community that is the Commerce Department team. So we all wish her the very best in retirement and a lot of great years ahead to explore new opportunities and new adventures, and we'll miss her very much. And again, thank you for the opportunity to just say a few words this morning.
Great, thank you, Mr. Zellers. Well, we want to congratulate all of our retirees. This is just an extraordinary amount of years of service to our community, and we thank you and wish you the best and hope you have a very happy and long retirement. All right, you good? Okay, great. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the December 16th, 2021 meeting of the Montgomery County Salary Board.
So moved.
Moved by Controller Sanchez. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Any negative votes? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.